What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Connor. Today we're going to talk about 2 deer hunting setups that don't break the bank. Before we get into them though, go ahead and scroll down for me, like and subscribe to this channel. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. That will be over on Instagram, so make sure you follow us there as well. With all that out of the way though, let's talk about these 2 setups. So to start things off, we're gonna break down this bow. We'll break down the rifle here in a minute, but this is my Killer Instinct Boss 405 crossbow. And it's got sort of this green and dark gray colored palette to it. You can see it's got the green camo limbs up front. It's got a 220 pound draw weight, which is pretty standard for crossbows. On the back here, it's got sort of an AR tactical looking stock along with the pistol grip. Overall, it's just sort of a tactical looking crossbow. Now there's many different crossbow configurations out there. This is just sort of the style and color palette I like in a crossbow. Moving up front here, you can see we do have bolts. These are 20-inch bolts. That brings up a conversation about range of bows. This is not a rifle, so we're not gonna be able to take really like multiple 100-yard shots with it. A good range for a crossbow is probably in that 50 to 60 yard range. That is because we want to take ethical shots on a deer. You don't want to be shooting 100, 150, 200 yards out with a bow. I'm sure there's someone out there that has done it or can do it or can claim to do it, but we want to be good outdoorsmen and good ethical sportsmen. So we need to be taking ethical shots with whatever we're shooting with. And at 50 yards, I would confidently be able to take a deer with this setup. Now, as I mentioned, this is a budget deer hunting setup or just a hunting setup in general. This bow I purchased for, I can't remember the exact price, but it was between $200 and $400. And last I checked online, it's still available for around that price point. So generally, that's not a bad price point to get you in the woods. And it comes with bolts. I chose to spend probably an extra 50 bucks and get some extra bolts, mostly just to be able to practice with. But you can add some bolts, add some broadheads, and you already got your bow set up and ready to go. Speaking of that budget, we did leave a little bit of room in the budget to add an optic. We upgraded the scope that came with this. I didn't really like it. It was a fixed magnification scope. I believe it was fixed at 4x. And I upgraded to a Triton Warden 1:6 second focal plane LPVO, which is currently $100 on Amazon. So super easy to slide that into our budget and upgrade the optic on this bow. As I said, it's got variable magnification, which is a huge advantage with a crossbow because you might be shooting something that's only like 20 yards away, or you might be shooting something that's more like 50 yards away. It's nice to have that variable magnification and be able to adjust your level there. Now, as I said, this is a second focal plane LPVO, but that's really not a big deal because we're using a crossbow. So we're not going to be taking 1,000-yard shots. We're going to be taking shots that are like 40, 50, 60 yards. So those BDC holdovers really aren't even going to matter. And it's a crossbow bolt. So we're not going to worry about any of that. We've got a solid optic on here. And my favorite part is that it's got an illuminated reticle. So when you're maybe hunting in the sort of low light just before the sun goes down, sort of dusky conditions, or maybe it's a little bit foggy outside, you can pop on that illuminated reticle and it will really help you see what is in front of you. Another thing I really like about this optic is that it comes with a mount. So everything you see here, you can get on Amazon for $100. You can throw it on your crossbow or your rifle and you're ready to hit the woods once you get it dialed in. Now, we've kind of broken down this bow. Let's talk about the rifle a little bit. So now here in front of me is my Ruger American Predator 6.5 Creedmoor bolt action rifle. A couple things about this rifle. It's got sort of this moss green color palette, which I really like, similar to the crossbow. We do have a bipod, which is a very affordable addition to make to your hunting build. You will see up front, we've got a T&J tactical suppressor. That is totally optional. We just have it on here. Obviously, a suppressor is not really a budget item, but hey, if you can add a suppressor, I think it would be a really good addition to your hunting setup. Certainly not necessary at all though to take a deer. Moving back here, my favorite part of this rifle is the bolt itself. It just has a really smooth action about it. I like the throw on it. Just overall, I really like the bolt. I really like the position of the safety as well. I like the action of it. It flicks on and off super easily. Trigger's fine, nothing to write home about it though. My chief complaint about this rifle is the magazine though. This guy just has loads of problems. I believe Ruger has addressed this in the updated models of this rifle, but the magazine on the older models is a bit of a pain. It doesn't cycle very well, so definitely something to keep in mind if you're looking at this specific rifle. Now there's plenty of other budget rifles, bolt action rifles out there, so you don't necessarily have to go with this Ruger American Predator. So as I mentioned, this is a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle, and that is perfect for deer hunting. It's a little bit bigger than 5.56. Some states have caliber restrictions around deer hunting. Here in Virginia, we absolutely do. So 6.5 Creedmoor will certainly pack a punch. You can really stretch your legs out to 600, 700, 800, 900 yards with shots. I wouldn't advise taking a deer at that distance, but this packs much more of a punch and certainly is going to be less affected by things like wind. Now, speaking of punching out further, hitting those longer distance shots, up top here we have a Triton Hyperion long range scope. This is one of my favorite scopes from Triton. It's a 3-18 first focal plane scope. It's got an illuminated reticle, which really helps again in those sort of dusky or foggy conditions. You can really see that reticle much better. That reticle does have 6 different brightness settings, which are adjusted here on the side. Right next to that is the parallax adjustment for this scope. And then up top and on the other side here, we have the windage and elevation adjustment turrets. Moving back here, we do have one more focusing ring, and then of course the throw and the magnification adjustment ring itself. My favorite part of just about every Triton optic is that it comes with a scope mount. So everything you see right here, you can get on Amazon right now for $230. So with all that being said, this is a really solid first focal plane, longer range scope that is budget friendly that I wanted to add to our rifle here, which overall is a budget friendly rifle. It's probably this whole setup minus the suppressor, $600, $700, $800, give or take where you find each thing. But like I said, that optic, $230 on Amazon. I like adding the bipod just to help steady your shots. And overall, this is a solid build. It's an accurate rifle and it'll get you in the woods and it'll get you hunting. All right, I do want to talk about just a couple other considerations when it comes to hunting in general. And a lot of it has to do with making sure we're being good sportsmen and we're abiding by the law. So first and foremost, you gotta have a place that you are allowed to hunt and legally you can hunt, whether it's national forest or a private hunting club, that's up to you to determine. Secondly is caliber restrictions. As I mentioned, in Virginia, we are restricted. We can't hunt deer with 5.56 caliber rifles. So that's why I went with the 6.5 Creedmoor. That might be different in your state though, so make sure you check that along with magazine restrictions. Your state might have some sort of magazine restrictions when it comes to deer hunting. Those are things you want to keep up with and be on top of, not be checking when you're in the deer stand. Last but not least, you want to make sure the weapon or firearm you're using is in season. So for example, here in Virginia, we go from bow season to muzzleloader to rifle. You want to make sure that what you're using is in season because again, not worth getting caught using a rifle in bow season. Now scroll down and comment for me and let me know if you prefer compound or crossbows. And if you're a rifle guy, let me know what your preferred deer hunting rifle caliber is. All right, so today we went over 2 really solid budget-friendly deer hunting setups. You could take either of those, pair them with a camo jacket, some hot hands and hunting license, and you're in the woods for less than $1,000. With all that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching and we'll see you on the next one.